You said that love is possible only with death. Then will you please explain Buddha's love? Love to an ignorant person is always part of hate. It is always with hate. Hate and love are just two aspects of the same coin for the ignorant mind. Love is never pure for the ignorant mind. And that's the misery of love. Because the hate becomes a poison. You love the same person and you hate him also. You may not be doing both simultaneously, so you are not aware. When you love a person, you forget about the hatred part. It goes below, it goes into the unconscious. And then it waits there. When your love is tired, it falls into the unconscious and the hate part comes up. Then you hate the same person. But when you hate, you are not aware that you love also. But now the love has gone deep down into the unconscious. And this goes on just like night and day. It goes on moving in a circle. It becomes a misery. But for a Buddha, for one who is enlightened, this dichotomy, this dualism disappears from everywhere. Not only as far as love is concerned. The whole life becomes a oneness. Then there is no dichotomy. The opposite doesn't exist. So really, to call Buddha's love love is not good, but we have no other term. Buddha himself never uses the word love. He uses the word compassion. But that too is not very good. Because your compassion is always mixed with your cruelty. Your violence is always with your violence. Because whatsoever you do will have its opposites just nearby. You exist between contradictions. Hence the tension, the anguish, the anxiety. You are not one. You are always two. You are a crowd, divided in many fragments, and those fragments are opposing each other. Your being is a tension. Buddha's being is a deep relaxation. Remember, tension exists between two opposite poles. A relaxation is just in the middle where two opposing poles are no more opposing. They negate each other and there is a transcendence. So Buddha's love is basically different than what you know about love. Your love is a dis-ease. Buddha's love is total relaxation. There is no hate part to it. So the quality changes completely. Many things will be in Buddha's love which cannot be in ordinary love. First, It cannot be heart. And the heartness comes from hate. It is not passion, rather it is compassion. It is not heart, it is cool. To us, a cold love means something which has gone wrong. Buddha's love is cool. There is no heat to it. It is not like the sun, it is like the moon. It will not create passion in you. It will create a deep coolness. Buddha's love, secondly, is not really a relationship. Your love is a relationship. Buddha's love is his state of being. Really, he is not loving you, he is love. This distinction must be understood clearly. You love a person. Your love is an act. You do something. You behave in a certain way. You create a relationship, a bridge. Buddha's love is just his being. It is how he is. He is not loving towards you. He is just love. Flower is there in the garden and you pass by and the perfume comes to you. Not that the flower is sending its perfume to you especially. When there was no one passing, the perfume was there. And if no one passes ever, the perfume will be there. When your lover is not with you, when your beloved is not with you, love has disappeared, the perfume is not there. It is an effort on your part. It is not your simple being. You have to do something to bring it out. When no one is there, Buddha is sitting alone under his Bodhi tree. He is a lover then too. That looks absurd. He is a lover then too. There is no one to be loved, but he is a lover. This being a lover is his state. And because it is a state, it is never a tension. Buddha cannot be tired of his love. You will get tired. Because it is something you are doing. So lovers get tired of each other. If there is too much of love, they get tired. They need gaps, intervals to recoup. If you are 24 hours with your lover, you will get fed up. Because it is too much attention. 24 hours doing something. Buddha is not doing something. He is not tired of his love. That is his very being. Just as if he is breathing. You are never tired of breathing. You are never tired of being. He is not tired of his love. But then the third thing follows. You will be aware that you love. Buddha will not be at all aware. Because awareness needs the contrary. Buddha is so filled with love, he will not be aware. If you ask him, he will say, I love you. But he is not aware. It is so silently flowing from him. It has become so intrinsic part. He cannot be aware of it. You will become aware that he loves. And if you are open and receptive, you will become more aware that he loves you more. It depends on your capacity, how much you can receive. But to him it is not a gift. He is not giving anything to you. He is this way. He happens to be this way. Whenever you become aware of your total being, enlightened, liberated, the dichotomy from your life drops. Then there is no duality. Then life becomes a harmony. Nothing is against anything. Because of this harmony, so much peace happens. There is no disturbance. Disturbance is not created from without. It is within you. The contradictory goes on creating the disturbance. You may find excuses without, but really, for example, live with your lover you love, a friend, a deep friend, very intimate, close, live with him. And just watch what is happening to you. When you meet, you are so elated, ecstatic, dancing. But how much you can dance? And how much ecstatic you can feel? Minutes after you are down, the elation has gone. After hours, you are bored. You are thinking to escape to somewhere else. After days, you will be fighting. Just watch what is happening. And this whole is coming from within. But you will find excuses outside. You will find now, this man is not so loving as he was when he came. Now, this man is disturbing me. He is making me angry. But you will always find that he is doing something to you. You will never be aware that your dichotomy, your duality of the mind, the opposite within, is doing something. We are never aware of our own workings of the mind. Buddha's love is totally different, but we don't have any other word. And the best that we have is love. But these things, if you can remember, then the quality changes completely. And note one thing. Think about it deeply. If Buddha is your lover, will you be satisfied? You will not be. Because you will feel it is cold. There is no passion in it. You will feel that he loves you as he loves all. You are nothing special. You will feel that his love is not a gift. He is this way. That's why he is loving. You will feel his love so natural that you will not be satisfied with it. Think inside. You cannot be satisfied with a love which is without hate. And you cannot be satisfied with the love which is with hate. This is the problem. Either way you will be unsatisfied. If love is with hate, you will be unsatisfied. Always ill. Because the hate part will disturb you. If love is without hate, you will feel it is cold. And it is happening to Buddha so naturally that even if you were not there, it will be happening. So it is nothing special for you. So your ego will feel unsatisfied. And this is my feeling. If you have a Buddha and a non-Buddha to choose as your lovers, you will choose the non-Buddha. Because you can understand the language. The non-Buddha is at least just like you. You will be fighting, you will be quarreling. The whole thing will be just a mess, a mad mess. But still you will choose a non-Buddha. Because Buddha will be so hard. And you cannot understand the way Buddha's love is unless you rise. With a non-Buddha, with an ignorant person, you need not transform yourself. You remain the same. He is not a challenge. Really, just the contrary happens to lovers. When two lovers meet and they fall in love, they both try to convince each other that they are very high. They bring the best that is in them out. They appear to be on the peaks. But this is with very arduous effort. You cannot remain on this peak. So when you start settling down, you come back down to the earth. So lovers are always frustrated with each other because they thought the other was just divine. And when they settle, then everything becomes just mundane, just ordinary. So they think the other was deceiving. No, he was not deceiving. He was just presenting himself in his best colors. And that's all. He was not deceiving anybody. He was not consciously doing anything. He was just presenting himself in his best colors. And the same was done by the others. But you cannot go on presenting yourself for long because it becomes arduous, difficult, heavy. So you come down. When two lovers settle, when they start to take each other for granted, then they appear very mean, very mediocre, very ordinary, just the opposite as they appeared before. They were angels and now they just appeared disciples of the devil. You fall down, you come to your ordinary level. Ordinary love is not a challenge. But if you fall in love with someone who is enlightened, this is rare. Only very fortunate ones fall in such a love. This is rare. This happens only when you have been searching an enlightened person for lives together. Only this, then it happens that you fall in love with an enlightened person. This in itself is a great achievement, falling in love with an enlightened person. But then there will be problem. The problem will be this, that the enlightened person is a challenge. He cannot come down to your level. That's impossible. That is not possible. You have to come to his peak. You have to travel. You have to transform. So love becomes a sadhana. If you fall in love with a Buddha, it becomes a sadhana. The greatest sadhana that is possible. And because of this, whenever there is a Buddha, or a Jesus, or a Lao Tse, many around him reach to such high peaks in one life that they could not have reached in many lives. But the secret is if they can fall in love. Because it is not unimaginable. It is imaginable. You may have been in the time of Buddha. You must have been somewhere. Buddha might have passed through your village or town. And you may not have even heard him. You may not have seen him. Because even to hear a Buddha, to see a Buddha, to come near to him, a certain love is needed. A certain search is needed on your part. When someone falls in love with an enlightened person, this is meaningful, very meaningful. But arduous will be the path. It is easy to fall in love with an ordinary person. There is no challenge. Challenge will be so much and the path will be difficult because you will have to travel all alone. And these things will be disturbing. His love will be cold. His love will look that it is for everyone. His love will not have the hatred part. This has been my experience. Many people fall in love with me. And then they start to play the game. The ordinary game. Knowingly, unknowingly, they start playing it. In a way, it is natural. They start expecting things from me. Ordinary expectations. And their mind works in the duality. For example, if you love me, you will feel happy if you can make me happy. And this is how love feels, to make the other happy. If you can make me happy, you will feel happy. But you cannot make me happy. I am already. You will feel dejected. If you fall in love with me, you will feel very disappointed because you cannot make me happy. You cannot make me more happy. There is nothing more. If you cannot make me happy, you will feel unhappy. And then you will try to make me unhappy. Because at least if you can do that, that too will be a satisfaction. You will try to make me unhappy unknowingly. Not that you are alert, aware. If you are aware, you will not do that. But you will try, your unconscious mind will try that to make this man unhappy. If you can make me unhappy, then you can be certain that you can make me happy also. But if you cannot make me unhappy, then you are totally disappointed. then you will feel you are not related at all with me. Because this is what relationship means to you. Ordinary love is a disease, because the duality goes on persisting. And to understand the love of an enlightened person is difficult. Intellectually, there is no way to understand it. You have to fall into love. And then you have to be alert about your own mind, because that mind will go on disturbing. Buddha became enlightened. Then he came back to his home. After 12 years, he was back. His wife, and he loved that woman very much, was very angry, furious. For all these 12 years she was waiting and waiting. Someday this man will come back. And she had much revenge in her mind. And this man to her had done injustice. He was unfair. Suddenly one night he disappears. At least he could have said, it would have been fair. But without saying anything, he simply disappeared from the home, leaving the wife and the small child. For 12 years she waited. And then Buddha came. She was furious, she was mad. Buddha's nearest, closest disciple was Anand, and he had always been following him like a shadow. When Buddha was entering the palace, he said to Anand, "Please, don't come with me." He said, "Why?" Because Anand has an ordinary mind. He was not enlightened. He became enlightened only when Buddha died. He said, "Why?" Are you still thinking in terms of wife and husband? You are going to meet your wife? Are you still thinking in terms of wife and husband? He was shocked. Anand was shocked, because how can a Buddha, enlightened person, say this, that don't come with me, I am going to meet my wife. Buddha said, that is not the point. But she will get more furious, looking that I have come with someone. She is waiting for 12 years. Let her be mad alone. She belongs to a very ancient family, very cultured. She will not be angry before you. She will not be angry before you. She will not express anything. And she has been waiting for 12 years. So let her explode. Don't come with me. I am not a husband to her now, but she is still a wife. I have changed, but she has not changed. Buddha went alone. Of course, she was furious. She started crying and weeping and screaming and saying things. And Buddha listened. She asked again and again, if you loved me at all, why you left? Why did you go away? And without telling me, if you loved me at all, tell this. And Buddha says, if I don't love you, why should I have come back? But these are two different things, totally different. She is not ready to hear what he says. She goes on insisting. Why? You left me alone. You tell me this, that you never loved me, and then everything is settled. And Buddha says, if I didn't love you, I still love you. That's why I have come back after 12 years. But this love is different. She is angry and Buddha is not angry. If he was also angry, she will understand. When she was screaming and weeping and crying, if he was also angry and could have beaten her, she would understand. Everything was okay. He was the old man. The 12 years would have disappeared completely. They would have loved again. There was no problem. But he was silently standing, and she was mad, and she was alone mad. And he was smiling. And this was too much. What type of love is this? It must have been very hard for her to understand. She told her son, he was now 12 years old, just to taunt Buddha, that this is your father, look at him. Escapist. You were just 1 day old and he escaped. And this is your father, he is a beggar. And he gave you birth. Now ask about the heritage. Spread your hands before him, he is your father. Ask him what he has to give to you. She was taunting, she was angry, natural. And Buddha called Anand, who was standing out, and said, Ananda, come and bring my begging ball. The begging ball was given to Buddha. He gave it to his son Rahul and said, this is my heritage. I initiate you into sannyas. This is his love. But Yasodhara got more mad. He said, what you are doing? If you love your son, you will not make him a beggar, a sannyasi. Buddha said, I make him a beggar because I love him. I know what real heritage is and that I am giving him. My father was not so wise. But I know what is worth giving and I am giving it. But these are two different dimensions, two different languages, never meeting anywhere. He is loving. He must have loved his wife. That's why he came back. He must have loved his son. That's why he initiated him. But no father can understand this. When Buddha's father heard this old man, he was ill, he came running out and he said, what have you done? Are you bent upon to destroy my whole family? You escaped from the house, you were my only son. And now I am hoping on Rahul. He is your only son. And you have initiated him into sannyas. So my family is cut. Now there is no possibility for the future. What are you doing? Are you an enemy? And Buddha says, because I love myself, I give him what is worth giving. Neither your kingdom is significant, not your family and the tree is significant. It will make no difference to the world whether this tree goes on growing further or not. But this phenomenon that Rahul is initiated into deep sannyas is something significant. And I also love my son. Two fathers talking. Buddha's father again pleading to him that you come back. I'm your father. I'm old. I'm angry. You have disappointed me. But still I have the Father's heart. I will forgive you. Come, my doors are open. Come back through this sannyas. Come back, my doors are open. This kingdom is yours. I am waiting. I am very old. But I have a deep love for you. I can forgive. This is also love. And then just there, another father, Gautam Buddha himself, giving initiation to his son to leave the world. That too is love. But both love are so different that it is not good to call them by one name, one word, but we don't have any.